The college basketball experience summer coaches tour for the Wright State Raiders head coach Clint Sargent edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up today now using that promo code TCESGPN to claim your first time deposit. Offer up to $250 bonus in cash. Underdog Fantasy promo code TCESGPN. And we're also brought to you by Rhythm. Rhythm's college football and NFL projections are now live. Claim your 7-day free trial today by going over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That is the sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM today. And welcome everybody into the college basketball experience, part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. We continue on our summer coaches tour as we head into the Horizon League with Coach Clint Sargent, first-year head coach. He takes over. Scott Nagy takes over at Southern Illinois. We talk about his journey to becoming a head coach. He played at South Dakota State for Coach Nagy. And then followed him from South Dakota State as an ops guy to Wright State as an assistant over this last decade. Now he gets the reins of the program that has a history of winning, a track record of success. Guys win at that job, get another job, and move on. But first, I am Moneyline Mac, a.k.a. the former video coordinator for Bob Huggins and Frank Martin. Also known as Mac Tonight over here at the College Basketball Experience. Another summer coaches tour interview sit down. Number 20. I actually went back and looked at how many we've had so far. So Coach Sargent makes number 20. We got plenty dialed up. We got plenty on the back burner, as they like to say, that we will continue to sit down coaches throughout the country as we lead into November 4th. Love the Horizon League. Love the home court atmosphere. Love the coaches. We talk about just being a first-year head coach at a school like Wright State, at a program like that, and then in the league like the Horizon that's historically really good among the mid-majors. They won an NCAA tournament game last year at Oakland. So, yeah, let's get to it. But first, we got to pay the bills before we bring on Coach Sargent, because we are brought to you by, well, none other than Underdog Fantasy. You can win 325 times what you put in or go 8-0, but all you got to do is use the promo code right here, TCESGPN, to claim your special pick or first-time deposit. Offer up to $250 bonus in cash. They got best ball ready to go with college football projections now. Make sure you follow the college experience. We'll be giving out lineups left and right each week over there at the college football experience. But you got to use our promo code so that you get all the perks, TCESGPN, UnderdogFantasy.com. Back over here at the College Basketball Experience. Let's get right into it. The head coach of the Wright State Raiders, Coach Clint Sargent. And we continue our summer coaches tour on the College Basketball Experience with the head coach of the Wright State Raiders, Coach Clint Sargent. Coach, how are you doing, man?
Very good. Enjoying a little bit of a downtime here before our guys get back on campus for the fall, but doing well, and thanks for having me.
Oh, anytime, and I appreciate you taking the time. And I should add the new head coach of the Wright State Raiders, because you take over for Coach Nagy, who goes over to Southern Illinois. Fill us in on what the last 4 months have been as you take over your first head coaching job.
Yeah, thankfully it's in a place where I've been 8 years, so this is going on year 9. Like you'd said, it'll be first as our head coach, but a place that I'm familiar with in terms of the people, the relationships, and any season of transition, I guess you could say, like when you have the backing of the people around you, obviously with your locker room and the players and their parents, and then your administration, that makes kind of all the new hats that I'm putting on a lot easier to wear. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we've gotten a lot done. You know, our guys had 8 weeks here in the summer, and in between all that, you're recruiting, you're fundraising, you're doing things that I knew of, but I didn't have necessarily the firsthand experience of leading. And I've said this quite a bit, just thankful to have the conviction in what the vision will be and what I would like to say and how I would like things done. Kind of each new step and each new hat I'm wearing. So it's made for a fun summer. I mean, we've gotten a lot done. And I think the anticipation for the fall and the excitement is there. And I think there's been a good foundation now for a 3 to 4 month tenure as head coach that I'm excited to build on here in a few weeks.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see the new era there at Wright State. I want to ask you, rewind here. You obviously worked with Coach Nagy at Wright State, but you also played for him, and you were there for the transition from Division II into Division I, into the Summit League. Just talk about your playing career and just what it was like playing for a program that was going through that transition and to see what it is now. And when also did you know you wanted to get into the coaching industry?
Yeah, I got to South Dakota State right on the end of it. So my freshman year, we were eligible for the NCAA tournament. So they had just made it through, I guess, that transition, which is hard. You don't have a league. You're recruiting territory based on the league. They're coming up from Division II. They're trying to figure out recruiting. So I feel like, and they were a very, very successful Division II program. And then I think we had to, in a lot of ways, rebrand in some ways, relearn. My freshman year, each year we went up in wins. And, really were foundational years to right now. It's a championship high level program that's really sustained success like not many can do at this level. And they have a tradition of awesome people there, great coaches, great players, great community. In a lot of ways, what we have here at Wright State, so much of that is how you sustain it. Even though the job's changing, you got the portal, you got NIL, one thing has to be there. You have to have, a high level of character and people to sustain that level of accomplishment. And I got a taste of it when I was at South Dakota State and surrounded by great coaches and awesome teammates in a community that helped me, when you're young and you're learning life and you're learning a lot through, unfortunately, mistakes. And, I knew I had wanted to coach really in high school, kind of a surface level, but yet real, just evaluate, man, they're going to pay people to do this, huh? Like you just get a coach and be in the locker room. I got to college and it meant a little bit more to me. I saw the pressure of it. I understood the influence you could have on young people. So you tie in all that of, man, I have a lot of experience. I played professionally. I've grown up playing sports. It's like I have all this locker room experience. It'd be great if I could use that all within my story of how my coaches have led and loved me well to now help me kind of step into this new role, not only a head coach, but I'm a husband of 12 years, father of 4 young kids, and feel like because I've grown up through sports and I've had awesome coaches that, not perfectly, but I can step into those roles with a certain level of understanding and wisdom of what it should look like and how to lead. And that's how I'm stepping now in as the head coach with a lot of that, lean on a lot of that same experience I got as a player.
And you talk about your playing career. You knew when you wanted to get into it. So your first coaching job in the industry was the Dobo job back at your alma mater. Talk about just the I don't think people realize when you're an ops guy at that level that you got to wear a bunch of different hats. You're not just the operations guy at a P5. So just talk about that being your first gig and the experiences coming off your playing career.
Yeah. I look back at those 3 years and absolutely am thankful for them because, as a player, you think you can you think you can do, and you think you understand it being in the locker room, and you think you kind of know what the coaches are doing. And those 3 years as our Dobo really allowed me to learn all the ins and outs of just decision-making and all the decision-making that the head coach has to make, and how you delegate, and how you empower your staff to make decisions, and how they all flow together. And if you want to have a well-ran business program, I mean, that director of operations position is critical, because the day-to-day has to be handled professionally, has to be handled well. And if you can do that job well, what you'll do is you'll free up the rest of the staff to really focus in on serving your players relationally and making them the best people and basketball players they can be. And I felt that and understood how important everything that, quite honestly, nobody knows goes on or gets any praise in the paper, but the people that are handling those roles, like our director of operations here, Nick Goff, he's been here 8 years, and he's an absolute machine, and loves our people, loves our players, and does a tremendous job. And because of that, it frees me up to do my role and step into those with a lot of clarity. And it all rolls together. But yeah, those early years at South Dakota State, I got blitzed just with the responsibility and really, just a learning experience. I thought I had it figured out, and I learned a lot of valuable lessons.
Yeah, the best ops guys, you don't notice them, because that means that they're taking care of it and keeping stuff off the head coach's plate. So you guys win. Obviously, you get to the NCAA tournament your final year, win 26 games, and then you guys transition over into the Horizon League. And Coach, you guys have had a heck of a run here for the last 8 years. Basically, you can pencil you guys in for 20 wins, top 4 in the Horizon, chance to get to the dance. Just talk about what you guys have been able to build and sustain here under Coach Nagy and now yourself.
Yeah, it's a lot of work goes into it. We've had great administrators, people that have understood, hey, if we can get the right people in the room and we can support and fund the program and give them what they need, and in return, they can go get the right people in their locker room, and we can recruit high-level kids that kind of understand what this is and what it isn't, and really have people that are aligned. That's why we've sustained over 8 years, I think, a high level of winning. And, that's why I'm very confident in what we can do now moving forward, even though a couple names have changed. The people behind the scenes here at Wright State are tremendous. My AD, Joylyn Brown, she's stepping into some new responsibility, but all the moral compass, the alignment of what we're doing with our young people and what they need from us, that remains at the forefront. And I've just been appreciative of that consistency here. And our players and their parents, and understanding that our culture is maybe a little bit different. But it's us, and they want to be a part of it, and something that they can build and not just piggyback off of, and really have something they can look back. And we just use the word legacy a lot, and develop into that and grow into that. It's not something you get from day one. You got to log some years and build up some equity at a place. And then in return, you got the chance to walk away and really be proud of something. And thankfully, that's just kind of been passed down at this point, and it will continue because we have another great group of kids and parents in this locker room that get that this is a lot bigger than just their experience. It's about the people that have come before them and after them, and that's just frequent conversation. And that's how we go about it.
And let me ask you this, Coach. Coach Nagy, you played for him. You were an ops guy for him. You were an assistant for him for 8 years. What were just some of the simple things that you're going to take from him? I know you've seen a lot, being with your mentor for 13 years. I think I just counted 14, 15. What are just some of the things that you're going to take from him that you think will help prepare you as you step into the new role?
Yeah, he was honest. I mean, as simple as I could put it. I know there's a lot of philosophy, there's a lot of day-to-day, how you organize, how you game plan, how you structure a practice, how you recruit, how do you evaluate, all those things. Certainly, yes, but at the core of it, he was an extremely honest man. And I don't know if there's something that moves the meter more in discerning everything that college athletics is now, more than just an honest conversation. Mm-hmm. And I always appreciated Coach. He would kind of let me into the heart of it and the insecurity of it and the loneliness of it. And I just like being a parent, your kids are going to catch a lot more of what you can just give them with word of mouth. And I just caught a ton from him, and going through it with him and being with him in not only the good, but maybe more impactful, just the bad and the hard and the failure, and how he handled that and how he led teams despite of the failure, because that's ultimately what it's a long season. You're going to deal with a lot of that, and how can you hold your locker room and grow because of the failure, because everything society kind of paints is like that should never happen. I should be 31-0 as a head coach and never lose. And yeah, that's something we're striving for, but not realistic. So how can you use the bad and losses, the failure, the adversity to grow your men? And he did that very well.
And let me ask you this. So first time you're running the show from this seat, the 18 inches that everybody talks about. How do you approach your non-conference schedule to help you prepare for the Horizon League? Because you mentioned it where it's a one-bid league, but you also want to challenge yourself so that you guys are prepared for league play and make a run at that tournament come March.
Yeah, that's a good question. And, I think with your schedule, you try to find a competitive balance to it. Now that's so much easier said than done. There's just not a lot you can control with it unless you are spending and buying games and you have the flexibility because of that. We don't operate with that. So then you got to make, within that variable, something we've talked about as a staff, just trying to enter into it and not make fearful decisions. So not be fearful for my record, not be selfish with what my wins and losses and the my and the I and all that. Now I have something attached to my name, but if people want to play, we'll play and roll out a hard schedule that gives us an opportunity to you can't arrive at being different, in my opinion, and special, a good team unless you play good teams. And in our schedule this year, you're going to see a lot of that. We're opening up at Kentucky, which is a great opportunity just to be on the biggest stage and be in those huddles where you're looking around at each other, and it just immediately tests your psyche and your moxie, mm-hmm. and learn from that, and then put it on the line and go compete. And then we're on the road at Miami, at Toledo. Then we have a tournament in Myrtle Beach, which will be with just about every one of those teams will fully expect to win their league. So we'll be, before we roll into our first two league games, which are on the road, we should absolutely know a lot about who we are, and who we're not, and where we need to get better. And that's the hope of your non-conference, that you're giving yourself a chance to do something maybe in school history you've never done, and win, and give your kids and their families an opportunity to be on the biggest stages and win and be successful. And then you want to figure out, who you're not and what you need to improve on, and how do you win a conference championship? Because like you said, that's a driver. And I know, the conference tournament and March Madness, that's a huge carrot, but I also think, like many coaches would agree, your regular season title over the course of 3 months, being the best team is pretty impressive. And I would like to get back to being in contention for those.
Yeah, that's the dark side of the one bid league, is if you go 26-6 and you dominate your league and then you lose in the first or second round, everybody views it as almost a failure, and it's not. You were the best team, but you just had one bad night. Let me ask you this, and you guys obviously are known as a program winner, so you're probably harder to schedule, I think, than the average basketball fan knows because of your tradition. What makes the Wright State program and job just so unique?
Yeah, I think at this point it's a you look at the previous coaches here. It's a winning job. It's a good job. It's unique in the sense that we've been to NCAA tournaments. We've won recent championships, whether that's regular season or conference tournament. We have fans that expect that. So I think that's unique in the sense it's been done. It's been done recently, and that's the expectation to do again soon. And unique, but I think ultimately any coach would, there's always expectation. That's what you would like it to be. And that's what you would like it to be funded and resourced and supported to be. And that's what we have here. So I think that makes it unique.
Absolutely. And it's been one of my favorite programs to watch. I mean, you guys offensively are always so efficient, defensively disciplined. Coach, you've taken a bunch of time and I appreciate it. As we head out, I leave you with one last question. We enter into the new era of Wright State Raiders basketball, the Coach Sargent era. What's your message for Wright State fans headed into the 24-25 season?
Yeah, I mean, I hope they see a personality of a team that is joyful, that is very connected, and I guess hope majority of nights, even though we won't do it perfectly, that they could walk out of the gym or turn off their TV and they would say, man, my team competed and they left it out there. Were they perfect? No. Did they make every shot? No. But a brand of people, not just a brand of basketball, just a brand of people that that represents substance and yes, toughness, but just a group of young people that are connected. Because I think everybody can go out and point, why the younger generation's not connected, phone, social media, this, that, or the other, but just that our team would be connected in whatever we're trying to get done.
Love to hear it. I'm fired up. I'm really excited for you and this opportunity at Wright State. Excited for Horizon basketball once again here in less than 3 months, everybody. Thank you, Coach, for stopping by the college basketball experience. Best of luck this season in year one, and we look forward to having you back on.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ryan.
Thanks, Coach. Coach Sargent of the Wright State Raiders, thank him for his time. Really excited for this opportunity to take over the program that he's been a part of and helped build into or sustain it as a winner. He mentioned it. Wright State's been a great program in the Horizon. Guys have won there, gotten better jobs in terms of pay and moved on. In a way, it's kind of been a stepping stone job, and it's a proven winner, and it's one of the stable programs in the Horizon League. Make sure you go check out all the other Summer Coaches Tour interviews that we've already done. We had Coach Bowles on from Ohio yesterday. We've had a bunch of A-Sun coaches on, a bunch of Big South. We got Coach Kaufman of Purdue Fort Wayne coming on later this week, Coach Scary of Towson. So make sure you're subscribed to all the channels so you get the notifications when these interviews will take place. Let's pay the bills before we get out of here, because at the college experience, we're brought to you by Rhythm, because football season is here. College football begins in less than 10 days, and get your models over there ready to go at Rhythm. Use the data scientists. Claim your 7-day free trial today by going over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. I'll take Georgia Tech plus the 13 in that first game in Ireland, and that is over at the sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM today. And we're also brought to you by Circa Survivor and Circa Millions. Get on out there to Vegas and participate in the best contests of the year. Ryan and Sean will be out there August 22nd through 24th. And if it's a little expensive for you, well, heck, we got a promo code SGP15 to save 15% off your hotel room for the sign-up weekend. It's the best contest in America. NFL, 5 ATS games each week. Sign up in the Circa Sports between now and September 7th, or if you can't get there, you can participate in the proxy. So go over to proxy.footballcontest.com to save you $50 off with the promo code SGP. All right, we're back over here at the College Basketball Experience. Like I said, it's another edition of the Coaches Tour. We will continue these all summer long into the fall, pretty much daily. I mean, we have done a really good job of building the brand up over here at the College Experience, and we couldn't do it without you guys liking, subscribing, sharing with a friend, sharing with fan bases. We embrace the mid majors. We love the Horizon. We love the Big South. We love the CAA. We love the ASUN. We love the SoCon. Those are the leagues that don't get covered enough at the college basketball national level. So we embrace getting these guys on to highlight their programs as we head into another year. It's going to be a hell of a year in college basketball, the 24-25 season. So thank you again to Coach Clint Sargent. Thank you all Wright State fans for tuning into this episode. Make sure you go check out all our other content, the College Football Experience, all 134 team previews, the Big 12 Experience with me, Rush, and Troy, the FCS Experience, Wright State, let's go football, baby, and the College Baseball Experience as well. We all come together on youtube.com/the College Experience. That's all I got. Next up on the dock will be Coach Scary tomorrow night of the Towson Tigers. This has been another edition of Mac Tonight signing off over here at the College Basketball Experience. You better start thinking about yours, and we out of here.